Alright, what's up? This is 420, the silver guy or a silver guy, whatever. Uh, so we're fixing to go and look for more more videos. So I follow RTD TV also, and he's he's got his little thing going on, and I mean we'll just find out that's so
All
this.
right. We are connected for the Friday edition of the news update. And as always, looking forward to connecting and sharing my 2 cents on a variety of subject matter. And it looks like we have some price predictions or some math calculations that just seem so absurd and so preposterous that I thought I wanted to talk about it. Because if these gold figures that we're getting from a credible source appear to be so large, imagine if we get a somewhat reasonable gold to silver ratio, then what
Ah,
would a silver
ah.
price be?
One thing about it is the GSR. So, it's how many ounces of silver it takes to buy 1 ounce of gold. So, let's see where it went. Sorry. All right. Let's see what it looks like. Look at that chart. Looks terrible. And so there's a green candle. We're looking at a green candle. So it's taking 51 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. Um, I mean, that's still, I mean, whatever. Uh, it's these contracts, these banks, this is ridiculous. This is really ridiculous. Uh, they're desperate. The I mean, this just looks to me like they're desperate to try to shake as many people out of this system as they can. They're trying to get what they can, but yeah, don't sell because you're uh you're giving them your money. That's yours. That belongs to you. You have uh, you have everything to know. So Article 5 of the U.S. Constitution. We can look at that. But one thing I noticed about AI, it's more they if you look it up on your phone or something like that, AI was probably have more of the bank's backs than anything else. They don't. I don't know why they're doing this. This is crazy. This is probably I couldn't tell you. And so let's continue.
Be price of silver be? That's what we're going to talk about. But before I move forward, as always, for those who are plugged in, if you have not as of yet, let me know where you're watching from. Feel free to check in. Leave a thought, idea, suggestion in the comment section or in the chat. I definitely would love to find out, I guess, what you're keeping your eyes on, and we're going to make the most of this as we move forward. So let me keep plugging along as I move, and we will make it work. And I need to make sure that I'm streaming on all cylinders here. And let me know if the audios and videos is coming in good, and we can make it work. But before I move forward, if you have not, I got to encourage and remind you, hit that like, check mark, thumb, subscribe, bell notification, check mark, so that you will stay plugged in and be able to connect with me when I go live or when I decide to put out a video. Okay, so what are we going to start today? Let's start with the weather. It
Uh,
is 24 degrees in.
our weather is cold, but the sun's making it warm. Alabama weather, gotta love it. I love Alabama weather because it doesn't make any sense. I lived here my whole life, so let's continue.
in Metro Detroit, and boy, it is chilly outside. I must admit, it feels mighty, mighty, mighty chilly. But then again, it's winter. What do I expect? But let me know where you're watching from. Check in with the weather where you're at. Definitely, it's always good to know that someone's out there enjoying the sun and maybe some water and some sand in their toes. But someday soon. But in the meantime, we got what I call a double whammy with the metals. It's comical at this moment because nobody believes the spot price given to us. Because as always, when you go to check out somewhere, if you can find what you're looking for, you're going to pay a price for it plus the premium. And
Yeah, you're gonna pay an arm and a leg. See, Outmix, I've done a lot of my coinage with them, and they they jacked our prices up. I can't remember what day it was, but I think it was before the end of the year. It was the weekend after Christmas. Is that weekend, that Saturday, they knocked the price of silver up. So what it did was it knocked the value of my silver up $1 and something. But when the markets opened that Monday, it collapsed, and you're like, what's going on? It's not supposed to. Why did they do that? Outmix. Uh, but yeah, that's where a lot of the silver I own came from. So, if they're implementing basically a window that closed, um, where you have to spend at least 10 grand with them to get silver, if they can even source it. So that's a thing of itself. Um, yeah, the silver shortage is going to be crazy, 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 because nobody's going to be able to get it. The government is going to be be the one that gets it all. They're going to be the one to jack the price up. They're going to be the one. They're going to be responsible for silver going up. Because one thing, if they keep knocking the silver price down here in the West, that means it's going to be up higher in China. So people are going to take money out of, or take the silver out of New York and send it to China for a $10 spread. So China's effing us up. So every time that price goes down, you have to remember it's a drain. They're draining the system, and uh, this is really gonna be bad, especially geopolitically. When you know nobody's accepting dollars, like printed dollars, like you know nobody's gonna want our debt. Nobody's gonna want our bonds. Nobody's gonna want our treasury. Whatever. All of it's debt, and our I feel sorry for the kids that's going on to the next generation. I feel really, really sorry for them because they're not going to have anything. Uh, they're going to be shut out. Like you're getting shut out the system now, and so they they know what they're doing. I know they know what they're doing. They have to. It's either that or they're stupid or ignorant or I mean, and then they think we're stupid. On top of that, on top of everything, they think we're the dumb ones. And um, paper tiger. Here we go. That's wild.
And literally, what really has me the most excited about where things are heading is the fact that it's only the 16th day of the new year. So we're only 16 days into 2026, and there's already more than enough stuff to be excited about in reference to opportunities. And one in particular that I'm going to talk about is the mining space and the fact that we got a variety of metals and rare earths that are set to explode in price, but yet the miners that bring them out the ground are not experiencing the same level of price activity. So that is something to pay attention to as well. So, okay, so let's just jump right into it. Let me give you some stats and facts, some charts and everything else, and then we will make
Oh,
our way
and
around.
another thing, this ain't investment advice. This is just, I'm having fun doing this. I want to build a community off of this. So, 420 the silver guy, or a silver, I keep saying the silver guy. I need to change it then. Anyway, um, let's let the man speak.
to get to the primary subject matter, and it has everything to do with some math calculations that I think should interest you. Okay, first and foremost, let's just check in and look at the metals as we get my page refreshed here. So this is what we're looking at. As I mentioned, the double whammy. This is the double whammy I'm referring to when it comes to silver. We had the drawdown from looks like 90 30 90 40 down to 87 83, recovered back to $89, and then it dropped down to 87, and now it's back to 87 8801 ish, whatever. And so here we are now, 88.37. And of course, just look at gold. Like, they did gold wrong. They did gold wrong. They just said, hey, we're going to just drop you from 46.15 down to 4,500. That's a nice little drop, all within a trading session. Where's the government when you need them, when you see this type of activity? Nowhere to be found. As expected.
Yeah, I agree. This is their friends. Their friends are the one doing this, so the government's not going to do anything. I mean, Jeff, look at him. They didn't, what is it? JP Morgan was linked to him and everything. So government knew about all this. So, I mean, they're nowhere to be found. Where are they at? Y'all were manipulating the markets again. This is bad. And when does this stop? It's got to stop. Remember, we're hitting a holiday weekend too. So if something happens between now and Monday, the holiday weekends are the scariest thing. But because when they declare bank holidays like they did in 2008, they'll because they'll know that you won't be able to get your money out the bank until Tuesday. And see, whatever they do, they're gonna make a decision, and it's probably not gonna be in our best interest either. It's gonna be in best interest of the friends, though. There's no broke friends in politics. There's no broke friends in politics. You don't have broke friends when you're a politician. Look at them; they're going up, and they're insider trading, all that stuff, illegal stuff, like that insider knowledge. Like, look at them all. That they all, and yeah, that's bull crap. Anyway,
Expected. Okay, so let's I'm gonna jump into some headlines real quick. So, in no particular order, I came across this and I thought it was worth bringing to your attention because never ask what your country can do for you, but ask what they're doing to your country. And that's
the point. That's the point. That really is a point.
from Michael Velli, my alias. But it says here the new mayor of Davos says Larry Fink,
It's what you
BlackRock's
can do for
chief
them.
executive,
It's not
led
the country
an
anymore.
effort to elevate the World Economic Forum next week. So literally, we're going to have Mr. Larry Fink stepping in Klaus Schwab shoes, Mr. Great Reset himself, next week for the first without Klaus Schwab. So here we have Larry Fink. So once again, for anybody who's been paying attention,
My dad, he used to call us big-headed F words, and he's got a big old forehead on him. Look at him. The jokes could be real and really hurtful too.
realize what's happening behind the scenes. You know what they're trying to accomplish with all this reset, the Great Reset, Fourth Industrial Revolution. He's literally picking up where Klaus left off at. And you don't take over that prestigious position unless you also plan on taking it up a notch. And what I mean by taking it up a notch, ultimately the public-private partnerships, the merger of big tech with governments working together to build out a total technological advanced surveillance state is what it's going to boil down to. So once again, it's going to be very interesting. But for those that care, for those that realize that nothing's changed regardless of who's in office, we're still moving forward. And then you have a comment that was given to us by a certain prime minister, which I have to play because it's all relevant. But it's just some details here talking about the event next week, who all is coming. And one thing I saw here that they're not necessarily
The
forcing,
club's
but
coming.
they're really
That's what's
encouraging
happening.
all the big players to show up. So let me give you an idea. It says here, just some of the little list here. It says, for months, the big question was whether President Trump would attend. He is coming, no doubt, because Larry Fink and
I wonder
Donald
if they're
Trump,
going to stay
I
at
think
his
Larry
golf
Fink,
course.
well, Donald Trump has his
Yeah, they
financial
probably are.
dealings
He gonna
through
make
Larry
great.
Fink, and he was his advisor during during his first term. So it's good to say they working hand in hand. But it says here, he is
Yeah.
coming, and many accounts, it was Fink who helped close the deal. It says, the relevance of Davos has been questioned in recent years, but Trump's presence guarantees that the world's attention will be focused on the event. It says Fink's contacts have been equally equivalent, effective in tapping Silicon Valley. One of the most notable figures is yesterday's Jae-Sung Han of NVIDIA. Hong has never before attended Davos, so NVIDIA CEO guy's never been there, but the founder of the AI chipmaker is arguably the most important CEO in the world right now, no doubt. Third, the number one, first biggest company. And Fink plans to conduct a keynote interview with Hong himself. Fink also persuaded Ken Griffin, the founder of hedge fund Citadel, and whatever. So this a couple other people says, what I found funny is this says while many corporate leaders previously competed to not spend time at the event's opening panels, favoring private meetings, Fink and Company
Hey,
pushed a number of them to appear.
it's so crazy that these unelected pieces of crap are actually making rules. Oh, Donald Trump's gonna be there. He's gonna be there. Of course he's gonna be there. They're probably staying in his fucking golf course too. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's got to make some money. He's exploiting the presidency for money. Something he said that he was against. I mean, you're just a two-faced warmonger. That's basically all it is now. You're you lulled us into a false sense of security, and you went behind our backs and stabbed us, and like you said, the war. You want a Nobel Peace Prize too. How do you get a Nobel Peace Prize when you're blowing everybody the fuck up? That's just that's just how it is. Anyway, let's keep going.
Appear on public stage. Jamie Dimon, you got the NVIDIA, Microsoft CEO, and all these world leaders, all these unelected officials are going to be there. So once again, you ask yourself, what are they talking about? Obviously, they're steering, they're trying to maneuver and to guide this reset that's underway right now. And the president is going to be there. So, okay, yeah, sure. But what else we got here? Trump stuns by floating tariffs on countries that stand in the way of Greenland. So basically, if you don't play ball, we're going to tax you. So I thought about this. Imposing tariffs on countries.
We're not taxing shit. We're not taxing nothing. We're the ones that's getting the tax. That's all we're getting. Tariffs are taxes. They're the same thing as a tax. So, he's not when he puts tariffs in, he's not taxing other countries, because that's stupid. Why would they eat a tax and continue selling to us? This is why they're going to dump our stuff, and this is the only way they're going to get rid of this golf club that they gave us to protect the world, and we're using it against everybody. So how are they going to take? They can't take us down militarily, because that's just not going to be good for anyone. But they can economically shut us off, and just look at this. Just look at it. It's wild. See, 38, 38. We're almost at 39. Huh. Wow. So, there's our interest right there. They're about to spend 900 or 1.5 on this right there. Let's go down to $106 trillion. $6 trillion in interest. Look, And then there's a somebody pointed out one day that they had they refinanced the debt without us knowing. So they added another thing to this called hidden wealth assets back dollars, whatever that means. So they put every basically look. There's our precious metals reserves. There's our mineral reserves. Real estate got put in this. And then our land. They used our land. This is that what he's talking about, that you will own nothing and be happy, because uh, uh, they whenever they how would you say it, when they refinanced the debt, they put everybody's stuff on the line. Everybody's stuff got put on the line. Look, there's land, stock market, and recaptured assets. Um, yeah, I don't know what that is. If you can tell me what that is, tell me in the comments, because um, I don't think anybody would be happy with somebody using their property to refinance their debt, somebody else's debt. And so what, you're just going to steal, you're just going to steal from us, basically. So they have nothing else to lose over this. And look, 12 trillion in mineral reserves, 85 in real estate. This can't be good. This ain't gonna be good. So, these numbers doesn't make any fucking sense, especially when you have a dollar to silver ratio at $1,500. So, and then you get the gold to dollar ratio, is that's 12 grand. So, not these two right here is what's how many paper dollars they have in circulation compared to an ounce of silver or gold, which is actual money. And that's how many contracts they have, well, US dollars, I guess, or printed money that they have per ounce of gold or silver. And it's being another feature, Fed fiat dollars. So 96%, they yeah, 96%, and it's coming down. It's going down. Yeah, they and see, $326 in savings per taxpayer. That's crazy. Anyway, that they are desperate. They are very desperate. But if that all collapses, that means everybody's property gets taken away, and it's given to BlackRock, or not given. It's given to them. So they didn't ask our permission to do any of this. They did it behind our backs. This is what I was saying. First video, when we was talking about the confiscation of our gold and everything that they don't have anymore. So they it's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. So if it's to keep the debt from defaulting. I think I've seen a video about Weimar Republic doing that. It actually did stabilize things, but that's probably why Hitler came to power. And because, I mean, everybody knows what happens with the Weimar Republic and everything. But see, one thing I'm going to say about this to them is you can put precious metal assets on there, but you're not using my shit to do that. That's for fucking sure. Like, you're not doing none of the shit. That's mine. Like, you're not. You take that out, take my shit out. You can take my shit out. And everybody else is going to say that the same damn thing, too. Take my land out, take my shit out, take all my shit off there, because you're not getting my property. This is going to cause the Civil War. This is going to be a civil war, and nobody's going to come off their property if it's paid off. But you refinance the debt. and use their property as collateral. And um, uh, yeah, you're not gonna get away with it. Like, people are not gonna come off their property for it because of that. Like, yeah, they're gonna tell Larry Fink and Big Black Rock that you're not getting my shit. Who put that up? I didn't agree with it. But this goes back to you'll own nothing and be happy. And this is it looks like it. It totally looks like what's fixing to happen. And that God should come back. Jesus Christ should come back because these are some evil, evil people that are in control of our shit, and we can't get rid of them. We need to get rid of them. I'm not saying kill anybody. I don't want to do that. Nobody should die, but they but they making decisions without even asking the people, hey, what do you think about this? Would y'all do? And you know what the answer is going to be? It's going to be a hell no. That's why they did it behind our backs. That's why they did that. I know that's why they did that. And because we wouldn't agree with it. We would be like, hell no, you can't use our assets for that. That's ours. Like, you're stealing from us again. And this is how bad the theft is. This is how you gonna don't get in bed with the government because you're gonna wake up with a backache in the morning.
Is that standing your way from achieving your objective is definitely bad politics. But then again, politics is irrelevant now. It's all public theater.
That's true.
You have a president that's capturing nations, and you have him using a weapon of
presidents too. He's also capturing presidents. And if you go look at the Venezuela thing, that they're saying it's for drugs, and it's not drugs. It's not drugs. Them are the ones that brought the crack into the country in the 80s, the CIA and all that. They the ones that brought the drugs into the country in the first fucking place. Like, yeah, it's not got nothing to do with drugs. This has nothing to do with drugs. It's gold, oil, and rare earth minerals, and all that, and BRICS nations and all that are like actually getting together and and flipping a switch. So we're gonna find out if Operation Sandman's for real, but there's no they're trying to give our shit away to them banks and Big Black Rock, and it's not fair because like I said, you think an average person's gonna let somebody come in and be like, hey, you no longer own this property anymore, it's mine. And do you think anybody's gonna do that? Or come off their property for that? Like, hell no, it's paid off. For one, it's paid off. It's mine. It's not yours. And I'm not gonna rent shit from you. Okay? I don't want to rent nothing. Nobody wants to do that 2030 thing. Nobody wants to do it. And and I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, you're not using my precious metals for this shit. You know what you can do. And that it's just
economic destruction, which is tariffs. So between capturing nations and taxing nations, those are the two tools that this administration is hard pressed to push forward. And so, would you be surprised if more nations decide to de-dollarize and to move away from this type of treatment on the?
And this is terrible treatment. They're like, they expect our enemies to hold our debt like it's an asset, and we can just take it from them. And that's another thing. Because none of our treasuries, none of our bonds, none of that's on paper anymore. They're all digital. This is what happens when, you know, when you give somebody, like, with a rope and all that, you throw it around their neck, and then they throw you the end of the rope and expect you not to pull it. This is what this is going to be. But yeah, you're not using my shit for that. That's not my debt, or it's our debt, yes, but uh, uh, but they took it out in our name, and see, that's the easy thing about spending other people's money, because you don't give a fuck what you spend it on. And we're supposed to trust these people, and I don't trust them at all.
International stage. That's just, my 2 cents there, but, we'll keep it moving. On another note here, Trump to push for emergency electricity auction underlined the difficult politics of rising utility prices and AI. So ultimately, trying to make the big players pay.
Yeah, they're not going to want to do that. Or yeah, I don't know. We're going to pay for this, okay? Whether we like it or not, we're going to pay for this, and they're going to take everything. They are going to take everything.
Pay to play. If you're going to take over the world with AI, you got to pay for it yourself. But at the end of the day, the government's going to pay for it. Believe me, the big tech will not pay for it. So the White House is reportedly set to announce a new action today that will attempt to make big tech companies pay their own way, as President Trump put earlier this week, when it comes to energy consumption in the years ahead. The report plans for a new emergency wholesale electricity auction.
What is that?
That would seek to lock large tech companies into long-term energy contracts in order to fund AI-fueled demand on power grids. So once again, these big tech centers that's needed to build out this surveillance state, the government's going to pay for it. We all know that. So this is just tough talk. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Keeping it moving. Here is something I want to touch on.
What did Teddy Roosevelt say? Speak softly and carry a big stick. He ain't even got a big stick. He got a little bitty one. It's about that big, right there.
Before we get to the main subject matter, this is important because it plays into more of what Larry Fink is doing, and everybody's working together. Canada agrees to cut tariff on Chinese EVs in return for lower tariffs on Canadian farm products. So here's a big slap in the face to the U.S. because if Canada opens up their EVs to China, which they will, you got BYB, the EV company on top of all the other ones, because Chinese EVs are superior to Tesla and Rivian and everything else done here. There's 2 or 3 primary, and then the big 3. Big 3 is getting out. As I posted an article, you got the Hamtramck facility, EV facility for one of the big 3, laid off 1,100 last week, and they're cutting off the EV because it's not efficient. It's not efficient, and it's not cost effective. And so you fill that gap with China. So now we're going to have Chinese cars coming through Canada, and you better believe you're going to have a lot of people going to Canada and the U.S. buying Canadian cars, electric vehicles, because they're way cheaper, and bringing them to the U.S. So that's going to be a problem that we're going to have to deal with. So
yeah, that's what's going to happen. I've also heard that their cars are better than ours, like the Teslas and all that. Teslas catch on fire. That's why Samsung's doing that solid state battery with silver and everything. It keeps the battery from catching on fire. So yeah, this is what's going to happen, and this is going to be wild. It's going to be a wild trip. I can't wait. And but yeah, you're not using my precious metals for that refinance, and that's mine. You're fucked. because nobody's gonna come off the precious metals anyway if you got any. And yeah, y'all can fuck off. Like, if you don't hold it, you don't own it.
Shouldn't be too surprising. And then on another note, this is a side note, but I thought it was important. Let me share with you a statement. I'm going to play a statement that was given by Prime Minister Carney, and I want you to listen to this and let me know what you think. Let me make sure my volume's up so I can hear what's going on here. But take a listen.
I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
So there you have current Prime Minister of Canada talking about the new world order. So once again, I take that as him reaffirming that things are set, things are moving forward, and they're no longer going to resist China's role in this multipolar world order that the BRICS are apparently working.
This is going to be a reason why we invade Canada. We're going to take Canada. That's just like 51st state right there. We're going to take Canada. If they do this, we are taking Canada. So, Canadians, y'all better be ready, because we're going to take over Canada if this happens. So, China's not going to be in our sphere of influence, period. Doesn't matter if you open up your trade relations, you still got us to deal with. So, yeah, they're not going to let China into Canada. They're not going to do that. So, but yeah, we're going to take over Canada because of this. So this is going to be the reason why. They're going to say it's something else, drugs or whatever. They're going to say something that is going to make us invade Canada, or say we're taking over. It's like Greenland, all that. Like, they're not going to let us. They're not going to let China over there in Canada. So Canada, y'all better be ready for this, because if you don't shape up, you're going to be shipped out, and you're going to be the 51st state of America. So that's what's going to happen. It's going to happen. The North American Union is going to start
working on, and by Carney bowing down to Xi and opening up his borders, lessening the tariffs, trying to buddy up with China, because once again, Canada can't make it without partners, because ultimately they produce very little of substance outside their natural resources. But they're literally going to open up to China, and it will give China more access to resources, I'm sure. So this is going to be a problem, because the U.S. is definitely, Trump, by next week, going to be finding some way to tariff Canada even more. So you know how it's go. But to the subject matter of the hour, this is what you came for, I'm assuming. Let me get into this. I'm going to just start off by sharing with you something that caught my attention. It has to do with price. Let me see. I'm trying to figure this. Price projections. Okay, so here, let's just jump right into it. So here's this is what caught my attention here. This is from Mark. Mark is, I don't know anything about Mark, just caught 23,000 followers, but it's just the subject matter in general, because the heading is what caught my attention. If the dollar falls, gold could hit 39,000. VanEck Emerging Markets Bond Team ran the numbers. Their framework is simple. Divide central bank money liabilities by gold reserves. The results are staggering. And so let's get into some figures here, because if this is what these professional, they have to be very extremely competent to work for VanEck and to give out these type of price models, but it's just the prices that seem absurd. But it says here, the headline targets U.S. narrow money weighted by FX turnover puts gold at $39,000. It says using the M2, which is broad money weighted by the FX turnover, $184,000 and 21 cent, or not 21 cent, but $184,211. Okay. And so I'm thinking like, okay, so here we have some individuals putting together some figures to give to the public, and for their
And you see that right
customer.
there. It's this isn't a prediction at all. This is not a prediction. It's a balance sheet calculation of the strain if the dollar loses its reserve status, which I think we already lost it. I mean, we can obviously see it. We lost our reserve status, and so all that paper's got to come back home, and it's got to be given back to the issuer. And yeah, you'll be spending a ton of money on coffee. So yeah, that's what this is going to look like.
That use their services. You send out something like this, or this word gets out. How can this not be something bullish for gold, as far as people wanting to have a higher allocation to this metal in their portfolio or in their physical possession or whatever? And it's like, why would they give out these figures unless like gold was a part of somebody's plan or somebody's strategy? Because you don't just give out these type of figures because it's obvious. If the dollar was to falter completely or no longer be the reserve currency, and if gold was to be revalued in all fiat currencies, basically, to have $184,000 gold would be crazy. Then it goes on to give more. And this is the article right here, so I encourage you to go check it out. But this is from VanEck.com. Came out January 7th. And it's a 10-minute read, quite lengthy, but it gives some charts, graphs, stats, and stuff like that, so I can just thumb through that real quick. But ultimately, the gist of it is what I just mentioned, and I'll give you some more from that. But talks about central bank purchases surge after sanctions. And so literally the turning point, according to their chart here, is right here behind me, where in 2022, we saw a surge in gold accumulation by nation states, especially those that were sanctioned. Then it goes on and talks the definition of money keeps expanding due to runs. And so you got M0, M1, M2, M3. And
They
you
just
got
have
a
all
price
sorts
figure of
M's. M1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a M73 million infinity to infinity and beyond. And yeah,
$184,000 in a time where QE is not really running rampant yet. We're just still dealing with the side effects from the previous monetary stimulus from 2020. And so here it says, as Central Bank MO divided by gold reserves is 39,000, and that's as of right now. If you were to count all the M0 created by central banks. And then it gives you some charts here, price in gold, equivalent, whatever goes on. And then it says gold, M2 gold reserve equals 184,000 per ounce. And then it gives you some explanations why and how, and it shows a chart here where gold M2 spiked after the great financial crisis and lockdown. So going back, here we have the true weight of gold, the true price of gold if you were to account for it in the total M2. And so that got me to thinking, okay, if we're getting these astronomically large figures for gold, then what would that be in silver? And so just to throw out some things here, let's just play with this and see what we would get. And so what I wanted to do was just open up ChatGPT and just throw out some figures and see what we can get. I've
messed with ChatGPT with that, and ChatGPT is it's two-faced, I think. They created it, and it's just saying, hey, it tells you a lot.
For fun. And so let me go here, and just for fun, I want to throw out some figures and we will see what we can do here. So I'm going to bring this up here, ChatGPT. We're going to have some fun with it. So I'm just going to ask if gold reaches 184,000 and the gold to silver ratio is, just say 8 to 1, what, man, I keep hitting the wrong button. What would be the price of silver at that time? And let's just have some fun. Let's see what we get here. Let's just see what we get here. That's a straightforward ratio calculation. It says if gold is 184,000 per ounce and the gold to silver ratio is 8 to 1, then silver would be $23,000. Silver will be $23,000 per ounce. That kind of price implies an extreme monetary scenario, but mathematically, that's correct outcome given those assumptions. So imagine silver at $23,000. And the reason I use 8 to 1 is from this particular graphic right here. This is from U.S. Debt Clock talking about silver reset.
That's also, you see that the silver to gold ratio. This is where it comes out of the ground at about the 8 to 1, and then right now the ratio is 54 to 1, and above ground, and then above ground gold. So yeah, that's wild. So see, the thing about what I'm saying is we're denominating gold and silver, and this right here. This right here is what we denominate gold and silver in. It's $1. Well, it's not. It's confetti, but I mean, basically, this can't even get you an ounce of silver anymore. It takes 100 of these to get you an ounce of silver. Forget the spot price. Like I said, we're measuring it in this. This right here is what we're measuring. Is the measuring stick we're using, and it's getting smaller, and it's getting smaller, and it's getting smaller, and it's getting smaller, and it's getting small. This is how much we got left of our purchasing power. Look, I'm gonna flip that around. See, that's how much we got left. And what happens if I fold this thing again? There's nothing left. That's it. That was it. Yes, they're gonna have to. Weimar Republic. They had to reintroduce a current. They had to discontinue a currency, and reissue a new currency. And that's what I was saying about the land thing. Is that when it reissued that new currency, they used everybody's land, whatever factories, all that stuff in the country to refinance or to launch this new currency to put more trust into the system. But Hitler come to power, so I guess it backfired on him. So let's continue.
And silver to gold is mined at 8 to 1. So if we were to get back somewhere like that, $23,000 silver would be something to consider. And you got to realize in a world like that, where gold would be the global monetary medium, then there'll be layers built on top of it, whether it be digital, tokenized this, or whatever. CBDC is going to be on there, stable coins, going to be all types of things going to be on there. But yeah, of course, every country will still have their own national currency. It'll just be a digital, solely digital, because paper at that point would just not be something that people would even really want to use. So could you imagine trying to sell an ounce of silver to go down to your coin shop and just plop, one coin down and say, hey, give me, let me cash this out. You're like, okay, how you want this? 20s, 50s, 100s, or we're gonna have to just wire it to you. But then again, it's just stuff to think about, just for fun, laugh and giggles. But
and the one thing about it is I don't think we would have enough currency in circulation for that. We don't, because a lot of people would take cash for that. They wouldn't want no checks. No, they wouldn't want nothing to even link them to anything. They want this to be as private as possible.
Once again, this is all because of Ban Ek. The fact that they are out here giving these preposterous valuations. So literally, here's the individuals: Eric Fine, Natalia Gershina, and David Osterwell. These are the three people that work together to put together this paper. And it just basically just asks a question: what if gold replaced the U.S. dollar as a reserve standard? If this paper...
See, before the 1970s, gold was the money, was the anchor of the whole system. And, gold was money. It was just, U.S. currency was just a receipt on gold. That's all it was. And, so they, when the gold standard ended, when the gold standard ended, that was a default. That was a default because the dollar, a dollar. Anyway, U.S. Constitution. Let's see what it says about Article 10. It's in the first section of it. So if you see right here, it says Congress shall have the power to borrow money. Congress shall have the power to coin money and regulate the value of foreign coin at the fixed standard of weights and measurements. So, and as you start going down and you start looking at it, let's see, where is it? Let's see, right here, let's see, here's the dollar. Here's a dollar. The basic unit is the dollar, a silver coin containing 371.25 grains of pure silver. So, that's what the dollar was, is only gold or silver coins and currency banknotes backed fully and by readily redeemable and I can't say that word, whatever. And it's only supposed to be used as legal tender. Like I said, this was just a fixed weight of gold and silver. That's what that was. That's what a dollar is. It's not, because if you look at old currency, silver certificates, gold certificates, they were, it says, to the payer on demand. Like, this note is legal tender. And it's a note. It's a note for, silver, gold, whatever. It's a note. So, this is going, this is probably going to end badly. See, another thing that you have to look at is, when we went to the U.S. debt clock, and we looked at this debt right there, they I'm losing my train of thought. So all of this can't happen. None of this can happen. Because there's a look, we have 2 trillion right there. That's 2 trillion. Well, that's almost a trillion. It's going to be a trillion. So, interest, Medicare and Medicaid, that's almost 2 trillion now. They didn't cut nothing. They just cut taxes and act like they were going to cut something. And so, that gives the Democrats right there. Look, it's a big club and we're not in it. We'll never be in this club. It's all for their friends and their greedy little friends, which are the bankers. And, they service them bankers pretty well. So this is what I was saying about in the last video. This is, our banking system was hijacked by this private bank called the Federal Reserve. That's only federal in name, and that's all it's federal by. They don't have to answer to us. They don't have to answer to nobody. They don't even have to answer to the president or Congress. So, if the Supreme Court does this with the tariffs, they should look at the bank, the Federal Reserve Bank, because it's not federal. It has no reserves, and they need to really look at the Federal Reserve, because that's there's only 3 parts of the federal government. Where's the Federal Reserve at? There's executive, judicial, and legislative. And there's no Federal Reserve. There's no 4th branch of the government called the Federal Reserve. They should answer to us. They should. And they don't. So, that's one thing about it. But seeing another thing, they can question that too. And if they say this is why they didn't answer anything about the tariffs when they did the ruling on it. They kicked the can down the road because they know that when the tariffs, or they say the tariffs are unconstitutional because all taxes have to form in the House. And he unilaterally put tariffs on us. And again, we pay the tariffs. We pay the tariffs. China don't pay our tariffs. India don't pay our tariffs. Russia don't pay our tariffs. Nobody pays our tariffs but Americans. That's taxes on us. I guess Doge is gone now. Hey, they removed Doge. So when that happens, if they say it's unconstitutional because he did put taxes on us without going through Congress to do it first and making it a law, so they can say it's unconstitutional, and he has to pay back every bit of that money back to to everybody, or not. Well, I mean, we're not going to get the money back, but the businesses that had to pay the tariffs are going to get the money back. They're going to be the ones that gets the dividend checks, and because it's going to make this problem even worse. So when they have to pay this back, it's going to make this go up. And then the bad part about this is it's going to make this go up, then it's going to make this go up. This is a loop that's what I was saying about the box they put us in, that we're not going to be able to get out of unless you hold in gold and silver. If you hold in gold and silver, you're good. You're good, because it's not going to take that many ounces of silver to convert into that. It's not going to take that much. Or if you don't even want to do it in the first place, you don't want to accept the cash, because this has value. This has value. This has value. This, not that. That has no value. Whenever they print money, they devalue the debt. That devalues their debt. So that's why he's bitching about low interest rates. He loves low interest rates. This dude's went bankrupt a bunch of times. So we know where we're headed. We know where we're headed. This is our headstone. the dollar's headstone is right there. It's being written. It's being written at the recording of this video. It says, "Here lies the dollar." It used to be backed by gold, but it's not no more. So, because it takes so much of this to buy these days, and it's so expensive, and it causes so much anxiety and all that. This is where the wealth inequality comes from too. The gold standard and all that. Well, that's where all the wealth inequality came from, because they could freely print money with no boundaries. They could take and it's not like they're not taxing us because that if they can, because we don't like taxes. That's when we broke away from Britain. We don't like taxes. But they'll just print money and dilute the currency already out in circulation. See, this is a Rome thing. Rome did this, but they didn't have you know, they didn't have paper. They didn't use paper. They used denarius, that coin. But anyway, let's continue on.
All right, emerging market bond team values gold by matching central bank liabilities to gold reserves implies 39,000 to 184,000. So once again, I'm just trying to pass on the message for whatever that's worth.
And then,
But
so I mean, you can Google this too if you wanted to. Yeah. All right. So he said 39,000. I hate when it doesn't. All right, so it would be right now it's like $88. So that's what they say it is, but see, that's wild. I can't. It's not Google.
as always, before we move forward, let's just talk about something. Sick of watching your savings lose value? Now's the time to get your weight up. Visit the RTD Silver Team Store and either start stacking silver January 20th to curb speculation and high free. To find out more, go to bit.4/gold silver banking or click the link in the description for more information. Back to our show. Okay, so let's get into some other things. I have lots of things bookmarked here, and I want to get through it as fast and as efficient as I can. Okay, so let's just jump on it. So I'm in no particular order. Here's some things worth paying attention to that I bookmarked that we will definitely probably find more about later on in next week. So here we got Shanghai Exchange lowers trade limits for silver and nickel's futures. And so this is something that was shared 4 hours ago, give or take, and it's from Bloomberg. Shanghai Futures Exchange lowered the maximum number of intraday positions for silver futures to 3,000 lots, according to an exchange, down from 7,000 to 3,000. And so one of the people asked a question, what does this mean? And basically it says here, Shanghai Futures is reducing max intraday opening positions for silver futures from 7 to 3 lots starting January 20th to curb speculation and high-frequency trading amid recent volatility. It says this could dampen short-term price swings, potentially pressuring silver prices downward as it limits aggressive buying. However, China's ongoing silver exports restrictions may support higher prices long term if the global demand persists. And so
The
that's
global
just something
demand's
there
not
that
going to stop for it either, because that's the thing. Like, you have to look at silver's a war metal, silver's an industrial metal, silver's money, and there's gold doesn't have them other two properties like silver's got. So and see, we just throw away all of our silver. So when we go buy a new iPhone or we throw that one away, a lot of our electronics wind up out in landfills, and they're full of silver, and really small amounts of silver though. But that, I mean, on a scale like Apple or any other place or any other company that makes technology, bombs. Bombs are the one thing. There's 500 ounces of silver on every Tomahawk missile that we fire. So it's getting blown up, it's getting thrown away, it's getting remonetized. So it's got too much going for it, and then it's not enough to go around. That's why it's been money before gold was. It was money before gold. Everybody liked it better. Water filtration. Yeah, there's so much that it does that the gold just doesn't have the properties that silver has. Silver is stronger than gold too. Like I have. All right, so one thing about this is I have a really, and I bought this just because I wanted to show the people at the house that how much gold or how much a little bitty thing of gold is compared to like, you know, the silver. Like, all right, so this is an ounce right here, but also that's gold. This is 24 karat. This is 1/100th of an ounce of gold. And this is $60. You see how little that is? And that is crazy. This is very little. This is a $60 piece of gold right here. And I just bought it just because well, it's been a while since I bought it. But it's to show that like, we can't afford gold no more. Nobody can afford it. Who can afford 46, 43, whatever the price is? We can't afford that. So that's why I would suggest running to this, because it's cheaper right now. But you better get to it before this thing hits at least $1,000, $2,000, before the bottom falls out of the dollar. And it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Put it that way. You should be scared that this is coming. A currency crisis, a sovereign debt crisis. I've listened to a ton of people talk about this, and it hasn't happened yet. So we're still in that, complacency. We think we're safe, and we're not safe. This has been going on for a long time. We have a rendezvous with destiny, as Ronald Reagan would say, and we're fixing to FAFO. That's what we're fixing to do.
Once again, between the increase in margins by all of these exchanges and things of the nature, trying to shake out weak hands, stabilize things. Now you have apparently Shanghai Futures looking to shuffle their basket of lots, which obviously probably is, contracts, deliverable contracts, and make them smaller to once again disincentivize institutions and the like from being forced to take out such large hedges with these 7,000 by reducing it to 3, hopefully to stabilize things and try to get some type of footing, I guess. That will be my guess. But once again, we will find out as time moves forward. But let me give you some more. Some more things worth paying attention to that I think is worth your time. So here is something from James Anderson that will be interesting to keep a hold of. Apparently in 2024, the IRS finally updated 1099B, the bullion dealer reporting requirement. So here we have something that coin shops, anybody that sells or exchanges or engages metals will probably be forced to fill out extra paperwork. And so the question is when and how much. But it says forms only submitted if and when investors sell in the size to bullion dealers in sizes now in line with modern COMEX and futures contracts.
They need to get that COMEX needs to crash and burn. Fuck the COMEX. They the ones that this is their fault to begin with. This is straight up their fault. Them and the LBMA up in England, I wish they would crash and burn, because we need price discovery. We don't need them holding the price down because they can't be believed. You're not trusted. And you ain't got no silver or gold, and I don't even know if you might have gold. That's the thing about the Road to Ruta thing, is we have more gold than we do silver. We have plenty of gold, and his thing was that if that's why Grand Canyon got closed off and all that because that they was going to start that Federal Reserve System in the 1930s or the 1910s and everything, and they knew this was going to happen. They knew about it, so that's why they Teddy Roosevelt locked up all the natural parks and everything. It wasn't to save the parks per se. Yeah, I mean, but it's to shore up that gold because they knew this was going to happen. But there's not enough silver on this planet, and Silver Slayer. One of the things I've seen about that he was saying that silver and gold come from heaven. It was made by God, and it was blessed by him too, because it's mentioned a bunch in the Bible. The Bible talks about silver and gold, and I sit at church sometimes, and I'll be reading through the Bible as I'm listening to the preacher preach and all that, and what I've gotten into a habit where I just underline or highlight how many times gold's in there. So anyway, as I started looking, gold was mentioned 6 times on one page. That is wild, and that is crazy. But I shall return on this. But like, share, and subscribe, and I'll have more of my information figured out by then, and I will get on with it. Thank you.